guys, sorry about that, but I had some GoPro issues. So I had some data that was unable to be formatted into the video system. And I had to lose all of the work I did right here other than just some tiny bits. So to catch you up real quick, I bought a new water jacket cover, gave it a coat of paint and primer, put it on, cleaned up the old manifold. I didn't see any holes or anything in it. I'm going to go ahead and reuse it. Even with this, I'll figure out what to do with that pipe after I make sure everything runs and drives correctly. We put the governor back on with the new gasket, got our line all lined up. Our carburetor is just finishing up its last cycle in the electrolysis tank. I put the old water pump on. I think I might have saved that footage, even though it does have a crack right here. While I look for a better water pump option, this will be more than adequate for me to get it running on it. And okay, everybody, welcome back. So my wife said I couldn't paint any more parts in the basement, and I figured I better get my ass out here even though it's a little cold. So I hope to get the oil filter housing put back on and the oil filter cap. And that way we are one step closer to getting this thing ready to go. So, I normally don't paint parts as I put something back together, but this was so dirty that I had to electrolysis it, put it through the electrolysis tank, sorry, and get it cleaned up. So I shot just a little bit of IH red on it. Alright. Got my new gasket. My bolts also went through the electrolysis tank. And I spent quite a bit of time cleaning and prepping this so there wasn't anything on it. Try to prevent what leaks you can prevent. I know it's an old tractor. I fully expect it to have some leaks. But maybe this is one area that will not leak profusely. Now my plan is to get this running and proof the engine and the transmission, make sure everything's going to work together, make sure this thing runs like I remember it running. There are a few things that I want to address before I start putting a lot of paint on. And like I said, I only painted this because I used the electrolysis tank on it. But I will give this thing a very thorough steam cleaning before we even start thinking about paint. And my plan is I will use it this summer to mow and putter and do whatever with to make sure that the transmission and the motor are good. And then move on to making it look good. All right, there's that part. Okay, so I took this oil filter housing off of the 1939 engine so that I can keep this engine as period correct as I can. Now I'm pretty sure this probably came out with a mag, but I'm going to leave it distributor. And I think that's a little more dependable, and I don't have a mag, I already have a distributor. And like I said, I don't have an unlimited budget on this. So, as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I get ready to put new oil in it, this is ready for an oil filter and a gasket, and we can move on to another part. So, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, so true to form, while trying to clean this up, this has got a crack in it right here. So I gave it a little bit of a once over, cleaned up the surface, and I'm going to put this water pump back on so that I can get this started and running, but I am going to look for a better one. I have already bought one of the remans, and it has held up decent, so I'm not opposed to doing that again. But it does not look exactly like the old one, so I'd like to find a pretty decent old one, if that's possible anymore. If not, I will go with a reman. Otherwise, this water pump actually looks good other than that crack in the belt tensioner. So it might run a long time like that, I don't know, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it other than to just give it a good cleaning. Make sure everything seemed to be turning smooth. And I think that water pump will be adequate for me for what I need to do right now. And when I tear the radiator and stuff off to paint everything, I can decide whether or not I want to change it then. You'd think I'd invest in electric impact. For some reason, I still end up using my ratchets. All right, that spins pretty good. So, overall, it's probably about time to drain the oil out and let that sit for a while and just drip drain and move on from there. One thing I did get done yesterday that I lost due to yesterday I did change out my fully functioning, nice looking, ready to use IH oil pressure gauge into this tractor out of the parts one we took apart for this. Strangely enough, when I tested this water temperature gauge, it works. So I'm going to scrape that with the razor blade and leave it in there for now. Alright, so let's get our oil pan and get set up to drain the oil. Alright, got our plug, or our container. Oh, that's positive. No water, no contamination like that. It's nice and black. Yeah, not bad. All right.